my interest in agriculture actually started at a very young age. Back in the 80s, before they had Roundup Ready soybeans, I actually worked for what was then called Bum Mueller Farms and walked the bottoms and chopping out giant ragweed and cockleburs. So that summer I was turning 8, but I started out when I was 7. So that's how I got my real interest in the whole ag field and farming, and then that just developed from there. So actually, I just took a recent new role about 6 months ago. And so my current role as a sales agronomist, you have a bachelor's degree and then a master's degree. And for 20 some years, I was actually in just sales and not really the agronomy part. And so I don't recommend anyone taking the path I have taken, because I've taken the hard way, but that is okay. I mean, I think it's always good to go back and get retraining. But at the time when I was going to college, I knew I wanted to work for a basic manufacturer. And so they were hiring all ag econ students. So I majored in ag econ. So I had a better opportunity to land with a basic manufacturer. And looking back, I wish that I would have majored in agronomy and then got my master's in agronomy instead of my master's in business. So that's one of the highlights, I think, about the position that I'm in, is because no 2 days are ever the same. So typically in the role that I am in, I spend every day out in the field with customers. Either this time of year, it's more working with crop plans, positioning products, helping them make decisions with their management style on the farm. And then once planting season gets here in the spring, then that really transitions into implementing that plan and helping growers scout their fields, troubleshoot as things come up, and with the products that they plant of Pioneer. And then in the fall, obviously that goes all throughout the growing season, where you're doing a lot of crop diagnostics. And then the fall is harvest season. So you get to really see all the decisions that you've helped someone make and implement. You get to see the results of that when the combines roll. And then we're really deep into data and analyzing data and pulling all the data from the year together in the fall, and then getting that back out to our customers. Actually, there's a couple things that I would think that I consider my favorites. One of them is that it's never the same day in and day out. And the second thing is I love people and I love working with people, and I love helping them achieve a goal that they set. And that's, to me, that is just like super satisfying to see somebody try something a little different. You convince them to change something, tweak something, and they do it, and they have success with it. You know, I've been fortunate that I have always loved being in the ag business, whether it was the chemical side or the seed side. But I will tell you, probably if I had to choose a least favorite, my least favorite is the administrative part of the job, where you have to, I mean, there's certain things that you just have to keep up with paperwork wise and things. And that's probably my least favorite, because that's the days I have to be in my office. And so you only have people interaction via phone typically, or nowadays via Zoom, which is kind of nice. You can see people. The sky's the limit for someone that, you know, wants to work for a big company. So Corteva actually owns Pioneer now, and there's multiple avenues within Corteva. Pioneer is the flagship seed brand of Corteva, but there's other multiple seed brands within the company. There's the crop protection side of the company where you work with ag retailers with chemistry and herbicides, fungicides and insecticides. There's seed treatments. There's digital ag. So the sky is really the limit for someone that wants to work for a large company and a basic manufacturer. Started out in the chemical side of the business, and I was in that side of the business for many years before I moved and transitioned over to the seed business 10 years ago. And when I transitioned to the seed side and now transitioning into the agronomy, specifically into the agronomist role, I went back to actually and got my CCA, Certified Crop Advisor designation, which requires lots of continuing education each year, and you have to keep that up. Experience is another great thing. You cannot trade. I mean, you can get all the training in the world, but experience is really a big, and build on each of those experiences that you have. So, like in the agronomy role, a bachelor's degree is required, and then a master's degree is required. But after that, it's kind of really up to you how much you want to build your skill level, and how far you want to go in the company. And I'm just one of those people that I like every day. I want to be better than I was yesterday. And I feel like there's a multitude of ways to do that. Nobody's going to push you to do that. So you kind of have to be in my role, you definitely got to be like self-motivated, because nobody's telling you to get up every day and go to work. You don't report anywhere. You are in charge of, you're given, hey, this is your goals. You're kind of in charge of making them happen. And if you don't, you have nobody to it all points back to you.
So, I'm so glad that you're asking that question, because I kind of got to reflect back quite a bit on 4-H and the 10 years that I was in it. And I realize now, because I'm involved in the program in other ways, but I wish, looking back, I'm like, God, there was so much more to 4-H that I just didn't realize as a kid. But I will tell you some of the skills that I learned through my 10 years of 4-H and all of my involvement with the club and the projects and things at the county. Really, leadership being one of them, presentation skills being another, responsibility, especially taking livestock projects and you having to be the one that takes care of them daily, time management, organization, following directions. Those would probably be the skills that really come to mind pretty quickly when I think about the 10 years I spent in 4-H and the skills that I built there that bleed over into life and my career today. I was age 5. So I mentioned earlier, I've always loved ag. We grew up out in the country. We had livestock, we had cows. I took pigs in 4-H. We had tons of land to just roam around on, ride 4-wheelers, things like that. So when I was 5, I will have to say, I wanted to be a truck driver. Mom and Dad every year their goal was to take all 3 of us kids to see as much as the United States as possible. So every summer they picked an area and we had a travel trailer and we went on vacation for 2 weeks. And so, you spent a lot of time driving in the truck, pulling your camper. And so we'd pass all these semis. So I always thought it was cool to do the whole, you like make the honking sound where you pull your arm down and driving by and they would always honk at you. So I thought that was cool. My best advice would be a little bit of multitude of things, but get involved early. And 4-H kind of introduces you to so much whether it's agriculture, whether it's STEM, computers, all kinds of things that you can explore through 4-H and through the available trips. That was really something that got me started in learning some very critical skills. And then when I went to high school, I got involved with FFA. Even though I went to Modern Day, I shared time half a day at Wrights, finding ways to incorporate what I really wanted to do, which was be in the agriculture field. Don't be afraid. Talk to people who do what you want to do, or talk to people that you have an interest in, maybe that field. Network, find universities that offer what you want to do. This is just food for thought. I knew I wanted to work for a big basic manufacturer. Purdue is known for agriculture. I applied nowhere else. So if I didn't get into Purdue, I'm not sure what my plan B was going to be. But I knew I had a better opportunity to land in the field and with the company I wanted to be with by going to a university that specializes in that field. Interview for internships early. Even if you don't think you're qualified or can get them, apply and try different things throughout your college career so that when you come out, you're pretty confident that you're going to land where you want to be, because you want a very long and fulfilling career doing something that you love.